Thank you very much. My name is Uyttewaal, and I have a conflict of interest, as you probably will understand, because I'm running a company that is focused on skin cancer. We have an app focused on the early recognition of skin cancer, and we try to connect people, individuals, with a doctor at the right time and at the right expertise level of a doctor. So we have a bit of a broader definition of teledermatology than the definition that is used in this conference, because in essence we end when the GP comes in with a dermoscopy picture sent to a dermatologist. So we are more focused on the whole awareness process, the process to make people more aware, let them understand that that this could personally impact them, and take barriers away to visit a doctor when it is needed. The moment that health professionals are involved, in essence, we are less worried. The second big difference is that we are, in essence, focused on the pigmented lesions. Melanoma is pigmented lesions, and we believe that in many teledermatology type of services, the pigmented lesions are taken out, and it's still the most severe skin disease. So therefore, we believe that dermatologists should play, or specialized skin cancer doctors should play a key role in the whole awareness, diagnosis and treatment process for melanoma, and technology can enable them to take a much more predominant role. This one. But before I start to talk about the way that we look at teledermatology, information, communication and technology has a severe impact on society. In essence, it has a severe impact on everybody. We make connections to parts and to people and parts of the world that we could not imagine that were feasible. It's an always on, always there convenience service. It has impacted news, it has impacted entertainment, social media and all these type of things. But it also has a huge impact on the health, and especially the expectations of people of health. People have a very short sort of interest phase. Every barrier that you put in front of a customer sort of loses the interest, and people want to know about, they want to get information about healthy choices that they should make. They are interested in the quality of the health system. They want to know who the best specialized doctors are, and they want easy connections with doctors. Traditionally, the doctor was perceived to be the person who was responsible for the health of the population. And doctors don't have the means and don't have the authority anymore for that. At the same time, we see customers want that ownership. They want to control their own health. So there's a paradigm shift going on, and that change is going quite quickly, where the role of the doctor is changing, and the role of the doctor is not how can I manage this whole issue around skin cancer that is growing so fast, but the question is more, how can I enable people to take care of their own health and allow them and encourage them to take action when that is needed. So when you meet customers in your clinic, referrals from GPs or direct customers in your clinic, in essence, they went through a complete awareness cycle already. Most of the people are unaware or don't want to be aware that skin health is important, especially the men. Before you can create some awareness that skin health is relevant, you need to personalize it. So I need to understand that it is relevant for me, not that skin cancer is growing quickly, because then I push it away, because there are so many diseases that I should worry about, so tomorrow is the next day. The next phase is that the moment that is personalized, people understand that it is relevant for them. They start to read about things. They hear things that they wouldn't have heard if they are not aware, and they start to worry. And eventually, they take action, go to a doctor, and that is in essence the phase where teledermatology currently is positioned. It's a frustration of most of the doctors that people visit too late. I speak to roughly all the people that find melanoma with our app, or have not found a melanoma in the app, and most of the people are aware of the issue for a much longer time. There were just too many barriers to go to a doctor. And we believe that technology is going to play a crucial role in this process and will enable specialized skin cancer doctors, dermatologists, to be much earlier engaged with people. So if you look at a swift overview, there are roughly 1 billion people with white skin in the world, and approximately 200 million people will be treated for skin cancer in their lifetime. And this number is probably very conservative. Based on recent US studies, a couple of years ago even, more than 3 million people are treated for skin cancer lesions in the US already. So that number is much bigger than we know, because the registration of non-melanoma skin cancer is poor. So out of the 200 million people, roughly 10% are treated for melanoma, and approximately 3 million people will die because of melanoma if there is no major breakthrough in the drugs for melanoma treatment. In European studies under all dermatologists, it's sort of tested in a survey last year by Euromelanoma. In essence, more than 50% of these people could have been saved if they would just have visited a specialized doctor in time. If they would just have gone to a dermatologist in time. Too many times I talk to the people that we support, and they went to a GP. The GP said, well, I don't think that something is wrong. They went home, and the barrier to visit the doctor again was so huge that it has delayed the visit to a specialized doctor. So if you want to position the way that we look at teledermatology, we want to look at the percentage of people with a clear risk to develop skin cancer, to develop melanoma, and the percentage of people that is not known in the health system. So people that are not monitored, people that are not monitored by a dermatologist or known by the dermatologist. In most of the countries in Europe, that's not more than 5%. So let's say roughly 3% of the risk population is monitored. And these are the people that you see. These are the people that are known. And we try to focus with our solution on the 95% of the population that is in many cases not aware, don't want to be aware, or don't take action because they are not worried enough. So we do that with a very straightforward and simple app, SkinVision. I don't know, some of you have probably heard about SkinVision. It's an app that provides 3 types of tools. There are awareness tools that help people understand their own skin profile. So is your skin profile risky for the development of for skin cancer or melanoma or not? The second part is what we call the self-reliance tools. So there's an algorithm-based solution that allows you to take a picture of a skin lesion, and within 20 seconds, without any interference of a doctor's review, they get a rating. That could be green, yellow, or red. And green, yellow, or red is not a diagnosis for a melanoma. It's not a replacement of a visit to a doctor, but what it is, it's a trigger to tell people you need to track that mole for changes in your gallery. So it's a warning signal that people need to be more aware about that specific skin lesion. So there's a gallery to track for changes, and there is an online connection to a doctor in case people feel uncomfortable. If you focus on the group of the risk population that are, let's say, not that aware, not that worried to take action, any hurdle to go to a doctor is a hurdle too much, because people lose interest. So if we advertise, for example, and it takes more than 10 minutes for people to get access to their phone, roughly 70% of these people drop off because they've already thought about something else. And that's the same for going to a doctor. So if I hear in the UK that it takes 6 months to go to a dermatologist, that's a pretty big drop-off rate for the early recognition of skin cancers. So looking at SkinVision, shortly, we are 4 years in business, and we were the first in business. So we have been pretty much part of the discussions and the controversial discussions about the risk and the value of these type of solutions in the market. We have currently 750,000 users that have downloaded the app. So we are good at mobilizing large populations and making people aware of the relevance of skin health. These people have built up a database now of more than 2.5 million pictures of suspicious skin lesions and moles. So this is a data project of more than 10 terabytes at this stage. People call that big data now. And therefore the function of the algorithm is various. So on one hand, it's an algorithm that provides the red, yellow, and the green outputs to users, but it's also a productivity engine for physicians. It has so much data currently in the database that you can start to look at the changes of moles over time. It relates the risk categories of people with the actual changes in moles. So the data value is an enormous research opportunity for the world of dermatology. The other thing that we do is, especially in moles and in non-melanoma skin cancer, the quality of the picture is always an issue for teledermatology. So we have developed an advanced camera, as we call it, that doesn't require an additional device. So we don't believe that there will be a large number of users that will buy dermoscopy type of add-ons to make a dermoscopy picture to send to a dermatologist. That would be such a block already, and therefore we don't reach the large populations that we have, and therefore we have created software that takes high quality pictures. The purpose of the picture is not to diagnose. The purpose of the picture is just to say, you need to go to a doctor. I look at your picture, this concerns me, you need to go to a doctor. That's how the advanced camera has been structured. And we have a pretty strong link to leading skin cancer clinics in the world that help us prioritize with research priorities, and the sort of the direction that we need to take. Because we are involved, we have two key challenges. On one hand, it's the lack of awareness and the willingness of people to become more aware. On the other side, it is the lack of willingness of doctors to really understand the value of technology and what it can do for their own job. And we believe we need to be strongly integrated in the world of dermatology to crack both. So, in essence, there's a simple web-based application for health professionals that allows doctors to see pictures that users have accepted or have given consent to show to a dermatologist. This could be an existing customer of yours, a patient that you just track for changes during, in between annual visits, for example, or this could be a real teledermatology type of consult for people that you don't know. It's normally engagement, so an earlier connection to people. That is a big benefit for dermatologists. It's an efficiency where you can reduce the number of visits to your clinic in between control cycles. But most of all, it is an opportunity and it's technology that will allow the specialized skin cancer clinics to take a much more leading role within the whole process to customers. And I would like to give you some examples of that. So if we go back to the awareness cycle, there are all kinds of new dermatology services or skin health services feasible. And most of these services are highly automatable. So you can automate quite some of these services. So if you look at the unaware people, there are opportunities for health population programs. So screening for skin cancer is controversial because the costs and the downside is still sort of an option of a topic of discussion. But if you just look at our organization, so last month we welcomed roughly 40,000 new customers. So 40,000 customers came into our app and they made approximately 100,000 pictures. Within our expert system that we have built, 500 of them have been identified as highly risky pictures, and immediate action is needed. So these people get an email and say, we are very concerned. This is part of a consent that users have given to us that we can review the picture as well, and we invite these people to go directly to a doctor. The dermatologists involved are almost sure that 25 of them are melanomas. So if you look at the cost of running such a campaign for us, and this could be let's say the Skin Cancer Week campaign 2.0 in any country, this costs less than €2 per participant. So for €2 per participant, we recruit the people, we make them aware, we scan their pictures, and we send them an email when something is really suspicious. So this is new, and this is a bit scary. And it's important that to say that customers don't know what the expert system in the background works, so they only see the yellow, the green, and the red rating initially. Only the people that have real suspicious lesions will get the invitation from us. So that's how population health can look in the future. You could even foresee a situation where you come to the clinic, you open your desk, you see the people that have used SkinVision and find, let's say, the 25 pictures that require some attention from you. And you can tag them. You can say, well, this person needs to go to a GP, needs to take a dermoscopy picture, and I would like to see that picture. Or this person I would like to see directly in my office. This person, in 3 months, I would like to see another picture. And the technology is there to automate that process completely, to implement protocols that are medically graded, so that you are much more involved and much more engaged with a larger portion of the risk population without spending too much time on it. So if you look at the aware people, there's a very small portion of people actively monitored in hospitals by dermatologists, and the technology is there to see, review, and chat with customers, with your patients, in essence, in between visits. This could be patients in your clinic, but could also be people that live around your clinic and that meet certain criteria. We agree on certain criteria that should be met, and we ask the consent of the people to share the information with specialized doctors, and you can see these type of pictures. In essence, the last sentence are already discussed. So this is what we see developing. This is what we see developing. This is coming your way. And we believe that this technology will enable dermatologists to take a much more active and leading role within the awareness phase of the customers. So these are just six pictures of, that came into our organization. It also gives a bit of an idea about the quality of the pictures that we receive. So these are 6 people that are all invited to go to a doctor. That's clear. And what we see is that, so we start with an iPhone 5 and a Samsung Android phone Model 5, and the quality of the camera is already so good that doctors that look at the pictures are surprised that the level of detail that these pictures contain is already there. And especially because we have not made it too easy to make a picture. So the advanced camera really needs to meet, we need to meet certain criteria before pictures are taken. So that's sort of what our visionary pitch was all about. I would like to thank you for your attention.